It has been a minute. It has been a minute. Welcome, everybody, back
Hi,
to the
guys.
box stand. I know I took last week off because I was in New York City.
New York City. Okay.
Yep. And what happened in New York, New York?
She went to see some plays and then she played with her ankle on a twist.
Yeah, but that was after.
Thank God that was after that happened.
That was after this happened. I got engaged, and
you cannot surprise. There's no way people can surprise Gina. And like,
I was
Bob
crying.
was like, "You were." Oh yeah.
I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. I thought he was complaining about his hip earlier, and I thought something was wrong with him. He's going down on his knee. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And the ring him
to the box. Oh my God.
What? And I cried, and I was like all upset. And then 2 days later, after I did the plays and the this and the that, is when
she did that.
So
look at the color of that thing. My God.
I know. Right now, it's like all different kinds of colors. It's more that one with the dark leg down the back there. So it got darker, but some of it got darker, and some of it's like kind of plain
yellowy orange.
Yeah. So it felt really good the other day, and then I did some stuff, and then it.
Oh, excuse me. You overdid some stuff because you never just do stuff.
Right.
You overdo it.
That is true. That is true. But we
and
do.
I just tell you, our guests in the green room are giggling as I spill the beans on how to.
She knows me all too well. But let me just read the bio. So we are going to have Living from the Heart here, Puran and Susanna Bair. Okay, so today's guests are Susanna and Puran Bair, co-founders of I Am Heart, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping people access emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being through the transformative practice of heart rhythm meditation, or HRM. Together, they've spent decades developing and teaching the heart-centered approach, which synchronizes breath and heartbeat to create coherence in body, mind, and spirit. Susanna is a pioneering teacher of heart-based meditation, whose work draws from over 40 years of study in psychology, the arts, and the Sufi mystical tradition. And she holds a master's in counseling psychology with clinical experience at the University of Vienna. Love that. Puran, brings a unique blend of science and spirituality to his work. With a background in mathematics and physics, he has developed practical techniques that make ancient wisdom both measurable and applicable to modern life. His work with heart rhythm meditation includes collaborations with researchers to study the psychological effects of breath and heart coherence. Now, I'm going to have them come on because we have a lot to talk about those things. Welcome to the Fox Den, you two.
Hello, nice to have us, Gina and Mama D.
Thank you.
Hi, Carmen. Welcome to the Fox Den, everybody. Please share the show. I have to also say that we are only going to be doing an hour tonight due to my poor foot. So I don't want to keep it down too long. But if I can go a little bit longer and we're in the middle of a conversation, absolutely fine. We're going to roll.
So in other words, when you start getting really ouchy and then people see your foot coming up in the air.
I have my ice pack here. If you hear this on the ground, that means I'm putting my foot on ice. But you guys now, you do a lot of things. You can help me with my foot with what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I know so. So can you explain how that can be with just breathing and your heart?
Yeah. See, that your body's experiencing a stress reaction. It's inflaming, which is a biological response, to the stress. And what we're trying to do is to increase the body's capacity for stress. So most people try to avoid stress, and that really doesn't work because, we live in a stressful world and you can't avoid stress.
Oh, yeah.
But what you can do is increase your body's ability to handle stress. And as an example for what we do with our students is once they've learned the meditation on the heart, because the heart is the energy center of the whole body, We take their arm and pack the whole arm in ice, in a great big bucket of ice. And normally that creates an instantaneous and very intense pain.
Right.
But with your heart, you see, you can influence the circulation system of your body. So you can make your arm warm and melt the ice. So this is a metaphor for working in the world. There's always two things happening. There's stress trying to affect you, and then you're trying to affect the situation. So in the matter of the ice is trying to freeze your arm, and your arm is trying to melt the ice. Who's going to win? Normally the ice wins.
Right.
But with the power of your heart, you can make the ice melt. And then there's no pain. It's
So my dad, growing up, he always taught me that it was the power of the mind that could control those things.
Yeah, the mind has a certain power, but its focus is where energy goes. But where the energy comes from is the heart.
No kidding.
So,
That's amazing.
And you can move that energy from your heart to any part of your body by imagining that your breath goes there. The breath carries the energy. So our work is basically a lot of breath work. We learn how to breathe in a way that moves energy inside the body.
David.
See, the thing is what one needs to know. I'm not sure if you guys meditate.
Yes.
But you do.
Oh, yeah.
Meditation is not an easy skill for a person who doesn't know how to meditate. And the biggest challenge we found that what people have is one, they have no time. And the other one, when they start meditating, they don't know what to focus on.
Right.
When you focus on your heart, you really know when you focus on it because the heart has a beat.
Yep.
When you focus on the third eye, you don't really know if you are focusing on the third eye. You just focus up here somewhere, and usually you leave the body, right? Or not. But when you focus on the heart, you really get that very strong feeling, okay, here's my heart, and it has a certain rhythm. And then you have your breath. And your breath has actually, usually the everyday breath goes rather fast and is very small. But what you can really change in your life is your breath. You can start breathing very slow, full, and deep. In heart rhythm meditation, we use a complete breath. You try to exhale so deep that you contract your abdominal muscles. You really squeeze them out. And when you inhale, you make your breath really deep and full and expand your abdominal muscle into a balloon. And then you expand the rib cage. And your body is really like a Michelin doll. Do you know what I mean? Fully.
Okay, yeah. Fully built, yeah. This sounds like something I did quite a while ago. And the breathing was so deep. It's like you said, when you breathe in, it's like you just bubble up. When you breathe out, it's like complete, it's like wringing out a dish rag.
Right.
And it got me so into it that my body started to shake, and I couldn't control it.
Yeah, I understand that one. That happens if you breathe too fast. You have to do that breath, but very slowly.
Okay.
Slow, full, and deep. Slow. And so then you get
But that's the teacher's fault, wouldn't it be?
What you say?
Would that be the teacher's fault if the teacher wasn't saying?
Always the
So
teacher's
you can
fault.
overbreathe, which is you're breathing.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, and when you overbreathe, you get all kinds of funny reactions. Some parts of your body go numb, some parts of it shake. We don't want that. We want it to be very calm. So we want it to be slow.
And in your book, you have a number of techniques and a number of diagrams and a number of charts and a number of ways to sit your body and a number, like for all different reasons.
Yeah.
So you do go in depth and in very great detail about all of this in this book. I do not have your second book. Your I'm going to put that up there right quickly.
Energize your heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Energize your heart.
The third book, Follow Your Heart, which is also on your picture there in the middle.
Yep. So, there are all the books there. They are on Amazon, and Kindle. Okay, and that is their website right there, www.iamheart.com. .com. Or is it .com or is it .org?
Or
Org. Sorry, I wrote it wrong on that. I just
right.
realized that because I have it on the banners. So yes, correct that. IamHeart.org. That is the correct one. Now, you also have an app,
yeah.
Breath and Heart. So what is that all about? Is this like teaching these techniques there, like that we can go in?
We're one of the unusual meditation schools that actually has an app. We have hundreds of meditations in there for free. So you can get the app, Breath and Heart, and it's for both iPhone and Android. And it leads you through these meditations.
Okay.
It also measures your heart rate. And because if you put your finger over the camera lens, it picks up your pulse. So it knows when your heart is beating.
It really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes a little tone when your heart beats. So that helps you, to coordinate your breath to your heartbeat. The essence of our method is breathe out for 8 heartbeats, breathe in for 8 heartbeats.
Okay.
So you need to feel the heartbeat. And well, that doesn't always happen right away. People don't always notice that right away. So the app is real helpful because it tells you when your heart is beating.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at that.
See, here it is. It's a little thing, and it gives you a tone, and it goes with your own heartbeat because I have my finger there, and it literally picks it up, and then you have a tone because some people can really not feel their heartbeat or their
Mhm.
pulse.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh yeah,
It's free.
it's
Yeah.
free, and there are hundreds of meditations on it that you can listen to.
Guys, did you hear that? If it's free, it's for me. There's also another free gift that you have going on too here, and that is on the www.iamheart.org/gift. Why I say that like that is for the audio only version. I'm also running across the bottom all of your little social media links down there: Facebook, LinkedIn,
Thank you.
all of them. TikTok. I just got on TikTok, so you're already ahead of me.
Thank you for that. So
I'm trying to download it now. So
one of the things we thought you might be interested in is this is the ability to actually send light out of your heart.
yes.
100%.
We feel this is important because it changes your whole sense of who you are.
Mhm.
Like, fear is a common problem for people, right? But what if you felt you had a light in your chest and everywhere you went, you were like a lamp,
Mhm.
and darkness just vanishes, in front of light.
Yep.
Yep.
And so we had a meditation that we thought was doing this. It was sending light, but we actually, we wanted to find out, is it really true, or are we imagining this? So we
Right.
went to a university in Germany called Kassel. And as a
I'm
German,
not the only one that mispronounces things.
she's a German speaker, so she knows these words. And
I
they
know.
had their photon counter. It actually counts photons of light. Now, a photon has the same amount of energy as an electron, so it's tiny. But you can measure these things. And so I was sitting in front of this photon counter doing this meditation. When I wasn't meditating, the background count was 20 photons a second, which is
Mhm.
dark. It's darker than outer space, actually. But when I was meditating, I got 100,000 photons a second.
Wow.
So that's 2 orders of magnitude brighter than threshold of visibility. So this would be definitely visible, more than visible.
And this is the scientific part of you.
Yes, it's very important to actually measure things.
Yeah.
And so it was reassuring to realize that real visible light comes from the heart. So that made me feel differently about myself, like, wow, I've got this resource, I've got this power inside myself.
Well,
We all have it.
yeah. See, what was interesting about the experiment, that different things, because it was a photon counter, he actually had to take his clothes off and sit there naked because the clothes give out light as well. And they would have to
Or block it.
And then they did this for several days because they didn't have right away good results.
Right.
Really got great results when he started sending the light to a little boy who was sick. That's when the heart really turned on. See, and that's what the heart does. The heart really turned on when he sent the light to somebody who really needed it.
Somebody,
And all of a sudden, the light became measurable that was sent out of the heart. So that's a fascinating little story.
That's a really a fascinating story. And so did the boy see it or did he feel it?
He didn't
Well, he
see it
got-
because he was at a distance. He was the only thing in the room with me was the photon counter. But
He got-
you know, light travels at 186,000 miles a second, so it goes pretty quick. And
He got better soon.
he got better, yeah. You know, because the light is energy, and it's just a kind of energy. And if we're sending light, we're sending lots of different kinds of energies at the same time, and some of those have tremendous healing properties. So we have a healing method in our school. We have a real school. I mean, people study for decades with us, and one of the things we teach is a method of healing, energy healing.
Well, now that's up our alley. Okay, now this is a
Yep.
different way to do it because she does Reiki. I do prana, so I work with the energy from my hands, but I have to, be there. And she's Reiki, and that's energy, and all over. And so now this is a different type, and I'm very, very interested to learn exactly how to do this.
Well, when we work with our hands too, but we come from our heart rhythm meditation, and our energy comes from the heart.
Right.
Wow. Okay. I don't know where exactly mine comes from. What happens is if I'm around someone and something is wrong with them, my hands heat up. And then I will get myself in a meditative state and I will just kind of scan where it is. Once I go over their body, it's either going to make me want to pull it. It's either going to make me want to scrape it. It's like, it tells me, what I want to do with it and get rid of it.
Very good.
But where it is, it will stop me dead in my tracks, and then where I feel heat, but people will always, if I'm going over their body, I'm not touching them, but they will feel heat, tingling, all kinds of stuff. Like I manipulated a woman's belly, like she was having all kinds of belly issues. She couldn't get pregnant. I did just one session on her, and within a week she was pregnant. And that's my nephew.
And what you don't know, you probably know, what is the source of your energy? The heart. That's what we think. See, we work with the 7 energy centers, the chakras, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they all have a different purpose. But we take the heart as the one that holds all the chakras. We think the heart is such a power center.
Yeah.
Because with the rhythm of the heart, your whole, physical body goes with it, your energy body goes with it, and your spiritual body goes with it. So those are like different levels of bodies that are connected. And the energy centers are like the batteries in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so with your hand, you can actually feel, when they tell you I have this and this problem, then you, as you say, you can scan the body. Or I could send energy right directly to your foot.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And heal you long distance. A lot of our healings are long distance.
Yeah. And like this is ageless. I mean, seriously, this goes so far back, chi, whatever you want to call manipulating this energy. But like I always tell people, if you want to see if you have any energy in you, you just do this. You just rub your hands together and hold them apart. And then just tell me when they're apart from each other, when you start bringing it in, where do you feel the resistance?
That's
You're
right.
right.
That's right. There's an energy bubble between your hands.
Exactly.
One of the unusual things about our energy system is that it's bidirectional. It's holistic. So we send energy and we also pull energy out of the client.
Yeah.
And
Yes, I did have to learn to not pull it out and pull it into me.
Uh-huh.
Because
we do that deliberately.
Yeah, I did
We
do
pull
that.
energy deliberately out of the client and into ourselves, into the heart. If it reaches the heart, it's okay. If it doesn't reach the heart, you're in trouble. But
Right.
if the energy of the other person, you can reach your heart will digest it.
Yeah.
And then you send it back as a homeopathic solution. So it's a round trip.
Round trip. You got round trip ticket. I love that. I love that. But I did when I was learning, like I scanned over a woman's body, a really bad bellyache, and everyone was standing around. And it was the weirdest thing because I was so focused and I'm sweating and everything. I'm just really trying to heal. Like I put everything I had, too much. And then I pulled it out, but I didn't throw it away. I pulled it out. And then it went into me, and everyone heard. This is no word of lie. This was palpable, and you heard it just like that. It went from her stomach to mine, and then I'm doubled over again.
No, this is
like, oh my God.
It's good that you have that ability, actually. But you can use that, to diagnose. Sometimes your client isn't able to tell you what's wrong with them. So you absorb their energy and you have it yourself. And now you can feel it in yourself and you know exactly what they feel.
Yeah, but it's not a good thing to have all that stuff. Well, not like that. Not, not when I was learning and when that happened, and then as it was happening too, they're like, throw it. They were saying it when it happened. You know what I mean? And they didn't. And
more advanced method to be able to carry it and then pull it inside and then digest it. And send back the solution. But that's what we do.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's way next level stuff. Out of my range. So I'll do things.
There's so many different ways to send healing, to get healing, that you can never negate one thing over the others. Like the way you're talking about, the way you're talking about, it's not the way I learned, but the way I learned was. What I learned is not the way I work. So, because when my Reiki master said, you're going to do this, I got attuned and everything else. And then I asked a friend of mine who was she was a shaman and she was also a Reiki master. And I said, would you mind if I, sent you healing and you tell me what you feel? Because sending healing to anybody, a layman will say, they may think they know what they're feeling, but not know how to describe it. But she was like, she was good at this. She's been doing it for many years. And when I sent it to her, the next day she came back to me and told me specifically what she felt. And she said, my healing is not just Reiki healing. There's so many things combined. And I said, that's probably because I'm never one to follow. I follow the recipe first time. And then after that, I'll add a little this, little that, little this. So I said, that's probably why the healing set, the way I send healing is different. My foundation is Reiki, but then what comes with it. So with learning what you use, I'm probably going to end up using parts of it with mine.
I know. Yeah.
Whatever works. Right? Try things out.
Yeah.
So an application of this that we tried was that we had a friend in Cleveland, Ohio, who was part of the United Way, which gives out money to people that are in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
And she said to us, "You've got to help us in Cleveland. It's one of the poorest cities in America." I was quite surprised. Okay. And she said, "We have a very high crime rate. So is this something you can do?" Well, we thought, if we're going to do something, we want to know whether we have an effect or not.
Yeah.
So in Cleveland, every single crime is put on their website in a big list. Hundreds of crimes a day, 500 crimes a day. And they list them. They list each one of them with the time and the place and the kind of crime it was.
Okay.
So we took the challenge. Can we reduce violent crime 2,000 miles away from Tucson, where we live? Yeah. And so what we did was we had another person that told us what days to do it because we wanted to randomize it. You see?
Right.
So some days we would meditate and some days we wouldn't. And then we would compare what was the violent crime rate on the days we meditated versus the days that we didn't meditate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we found out that with our meditation method, we could reduce the violent crime 34% for the first 6 hours after our meditation, 19% for the next 24 hours after our meditation. No, that's a significant drop.
You guys got to do that every single day. You got to send that out for the world every single day.
Yeah, we do that.
We do that. We just don't measure it everywhere.
But we were able to measure it with Cleveland because of their crime stats online. See?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
But then,
interesting.
That's
the way we
powerful,
did it,
potent stuff.
we use this healing method that we have where we didn't actually think of sending energy 2,000 miles because it dissipates with distance, you know. So what we did is we said Cleveland is here. I'm Cleveland. She's Cleveland.
Okay.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in Cleveland time, the beginning of the day, we absorbed Cleveland into ourselves. And that means everything that's happening in Cleveland is happening inside ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
All the good things, all the terrible things, it's all happening right here. And when it's here, we know how to deal with it, you know? I mean, something.
Okay.
Yeah, like you were saying about the energy and the
just like you
different
got a pain
symptoms.
in your chest, you know, you process it yourself.
Yeah.
So we took the pain and the joy and everything of Cleveland and put it in our chest and worked with it, and then sent back the result. That's what we do as our healing method, and that's why it had the effect. You know, because there was another group of people using TM, and they did an experiment with reducing violent crime in Washington D.C. back in 1993, and they had the same effect that we had, but it took 8,000 people.
Wow.
And they were in Washington, and we were in Tucson, 2,000 miles away.
Right.
So arguably, it seems like it's a more efficient method instead of sending something to absorb
take it to you.
and process it and solve it.
Awesome. Well, there's a good question right there from Heather. It says, do you have any suggestions with someone with dementia? Her mom knows she's not remembering and she gets so sad.
Yeah. Well, you know, dementia is sometimes or often a protective mechanism that we build up in a certain age. But, you know, your mother still has a heart, Heather. And the way to do it is, you know, when you listen to your own heart, Heather, you actually can pick up your mother's heart. And you can actually pick up how does your mother feel or what is she concerned about. And when you connect deeply through your own heart to your mother's heart, you can speak from your heart to her heart as if she wouldn't have forgotten anything. Do you see? And that way you have a connection to her where she's like, wow, my daughter actually knows what I want to know. That's what we can pick up through the heart. This is a practice we have in our school. It's called resonance because we are all, the heart has an electromagnetic field. Everybody has this electromagnetic field, and it's like tuning forks.
Yeah.
That connect with each other. And that vibration from one heart to the other can be picked up. And when you feel that, you know, what you want to hear or what you wish to know, you can speak to that without somebody telling you. And that makes the heart very happy when somebody picks that up and knows that. So it's just tuning yourself to your mother's heart, Heather. That's the way that practice works. When somebody is sad that they don't know or they forgot, we all have that at a certain age.
Oh, yeah.
She was saying that was fantastic about our conversation before, what you were talking about with the crime rates and everything else, because that's pretty intense stuff.
It is. It is.
So you can do so many different things. Like what else? What, like, do you have stories like that people have gone through in the book, like examples of themselves doing your meditations on here?
Yeah, we teach people to do what we do, so we're not special. We can teach people to do what we do, and they get to improve their relationships by having this ability to tune into each other. You know, because our hearts are talking to each other all the time. It's happening through the electromagnetic field, It's not coming through the brain. It's heart to heart, feel through the fields of the energy fields of the heart. And you can kind of learn how to decode that information that's coming. It's not coming through the senses. It's coming through the magnetic field of the other person. But your heart responds to it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
So you can learn how to feel that and understand what a person's feeling.
Well, we have a young lady who I think you must know because Angela Talent. She said, "My whole life changed by going through I Am Heart."
Yeah.
Very nice. We know you very well.
Nice.
Yeah. Now that is the stuff that you want to hear. You want to hear the firsthand people that have either done your courses in your school, through your app, through your books, whatever, because you can't beat that. You can't beat word of mouth, and you can't beat people actually working and doing the techniques. And when it changes your life, hey, that's what it's all about. And then the more people that you can get on board and the more people that you teach, like you said, the two of you putting out that energy for 2,000 miles away. Can you imagine everybody's doing it? Because that is definitely what the world needs.
Yeah, so in our school, we've trained 50 people who are mentors. Susanna is in charge of that. 100 people. Talk about that.
Well, when you work with heart rhythm meditation, what's challenging about, I do think every meditation has their challenges. And I think I mentioned that earlier already. First you need to learn how to breathe, because people usually don't breathe slow and deep. And the slow, deep breath helps with panic attacks, anxieties. It calms down the heart instantly without even feeling the heart. And then when you connect then with the heart, I mentioned it earlier, what you feel is the pain of the heart.
Yeah.
When we brought out the second book, Energize Your Heart.
Emotional pain.
Yeah, we went on a book tour through all of America. And in one of the bookstores where I presented, there came in a Buddhist monk with all his robes. I think he wanted us to know that he's a Buddhist monk.
Right.
Well, yeah. And so then I thought, gosh, what do I have to teach a Buddhist monk? Because I don't know Buddhism very well. I know heart rhythm meditation. So I said, well, I do my heart rhythm meditation. And in the end, he came and he thanked me. I said, wow, that's so touching. Now you have to tell me why you thanked me. He said, well, Susanna, I have been listening to my heart for 30 years, but I imagined my heart. I never listened to my physical heart.
Right.
And I said, why not? I mean, everybody has a heart. That's the incredible thing. I said, well, I learned today by doing your meditation that my heart holds incredible amounts of pain.
Yeah.
And that is why we have in our school mentoring. Because when people come really to this stage where they open their heart, they're not only vulnerable, a lot of memories comes up, and a lot of pain shows itself. And that's why we have mentors. The mentors know how to talk with
things like that.
You're right. And, we teach in our school, it's Puran said we are a real spiritual school. Yes, we are. We put people through 9 steps of realization.
Okay.
I think you might understand that very well. Sometimes you look at life and you think, I'm just like this big nobody here who just works, and I don't know why I'm here or what am I doing here. I'm this working machine with a job that I don't actually like.
Right.
And when people realize this, then they want to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if people want to change, they need a lot of help with that, because it's not easy to get out of the treadmill of life, right? Recently somebody said to us in a level 1 course, they said, I wished I would have known 50 years ago what I'm learning here. Do you see?
Yeah.
And this is what we call the steps of realization, and there are 3 groups of them. One group is on the steps of the mind, where the mind judges everything and knows how it goes and doesn't work. But then comes a step which is called the opening of the heart. And when people come to the step of opening of the heart, they usually cry a lot. And at the same time,
Yep.
they can laugh a lot. Do you know? Because the emotional body starts opening up and they become much more alive. And in those stages, they sort of redo their life story of when they were abandoned, blamed, neglected, and abused, all those kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
And then they learn how to use those tools and they become more whole and they become really very successful in life.
Mm-hmm.
And some people become bored with success in life. I'm not sure if you have had those kinds of clients. They actually say, you know, is that all that you can experience in this life? Or is there
Nice, Heather. Heather
Or is-
Lynn just purchased your book.
really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Gina and Darlene. So that comes what is a very famous step on spiritual path, which is called the dark night of the soul.
Yes.
And that is when people start experiencing what is my spirit, who am I, and why am I here, and where does my life go, and what is my purpose in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is where we really bring to people that they really experience. It's an experiential path, the path of the heart, where they experience that I'm a energetic spiritual being.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes then there are steps in that, because when you're in that step, you have to actually learn how to experience guidance through the heart. And who and what is guiding you. Like you spoke about spirit animals. We don't have spirit animals, but we have spiritual guides, invisible
Yeah.
beings that we
Yep.
communicate
Yep.
with.
Yeah, have spiritual guides too. We have ancestors, we have spiritual guides, we have angelic guides, we have animal guides. So it's just what realm are you tapping into?
What
Yeah.
realm are you exactly? What realm are you tapping into, and what does that realm look like, and how can you become proficient in it? That you're comfortable in your body, and your body at the same time as in these invisible realms. That
That's
is
amazing. So that we were talking about that pre-show, and also what we were talking about pre-show was the fact that people always have to wait until they hit rock bottom in order to, felicitate change and
Mm-hmm.
going to do something like this. So whether they're in, dire straits, completely down and out, physically and mentally and spiritually, completely just drained from things, before you do it. So please, for the love of God, don't wait that long.
No.
Just don't, because
The sooner you start, the sooner you heal.
right.
And it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be in a big explosion type of thing. You can do it in little bits, and this is what healing is all about. It'd be great if we could just do it one time and everything's done, fixed, you're 100%. But it doesn't work that way. It's like learning everything else. It's like doing everything else. There are steps. There are processes. But if you don't start, you'll never get to the top.
That's right.
So this idea that there are steps in life is I think, a really interesting idea. That, like, we know from child psychology that children go through certain steps of growth. Like they always walk before they talk.
Yep.
So there's some steps to things. But how about for adults? What are the steps that adults go through in their inner development? Well, the ancient mystics came up with a scheme of 9 different steps that everybody goes through. Everybody's on those steps somewhere.
Okay.
And step 6 is what we call the dark night of the soul. But there are more steps beyond that, and fortunately, because is a bad place to get stuck.
Yeah, I
And
don't want to be stuck there. It doesn't sound like a nice, fun place.
the very next step is called classically enlightenment. And beyond that, there are 2 more steps, which lead to something called illumination. And these have been discussed and described for thousands of years. It's the same in
Right.
Japanese
It's
culture.
like the same, like religion. It's always the same concept, just a little variation of.
That's
you
right.
know,
That's right.
we believe in one whole thing, but this. These people are going to take that, and then that. These people are going to take that. However, it's all the same stuff, and it's going to get you to the same place.
Yeah.
So an interesting picture of the path is the labyrinth.
Ooh.
The 11-ring labyrinth is something which is, it's on the floor of the cathedral in Chartres, in France. It's a very old pattern. It comes from the Druids, pre-Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And this pattern of the 11-ring labyrinth actually describes the path in life. It has twists and turns, and it's not always straight. It's not like a ladder.
Mm-hmm.
It's a circular path. It goes around and around and this way and that way.
Mm-hmm.
So when we work with the labyrinth, we see there are 9 steps, 9 points in the labyrinth where you can say, this is the next point. This is the next initiation, a next transition. And everybody's going through these all the time, but it's nice to have them pointed out.
Yeah, you actually have in that beautiful thing that you created about us, you have all 3 books in there. If you show that, we can show you the book where this is in about the labyrinth.
Yes.
And this book that is called Follow Your Heart.
It's right above the word Kindle.
Yep.
That book has the labyrinth in there with the 9 steps.
Beautiful. Well, what is the one on the bottom next to you? Your picture.
That's another version of energize card, I think.
Okay, so the living from the heart and the living from the heart. If you're out in bookstores or anything, or if you see them available, those are the same. They are both them. Get it. So the same thing with the one with the red on the bottom there with that, it looks like a heart. And energize your heart and energize your heart. Just wherever, get the books. Just get the books. And since I didn't get this book until I got back from my vacation, I did not get a chance to get all the way through. However, I am dog-earing as I go. So I have my things that I'm picking up on here, because I do find this very fascinating, and I'm always I want to learn everything. I want to know it all, as much as I possibly can. So
well, your show is very helpful, to people who want to learn a lot of things.
Thank you.
Very nice to have things spread out here and made available. It's great.
Well, we consider this to be our safe place. So if there's people in the audience, and how people you say, I don't want to ask it because it's a dumb question. My way of thinking is there is no dumb question. The only dumb question is the question you don't ask, because everybody has the questions and they think, if I ask that, maybe think, ask it. Anybody says anything otherwise, not very nice in regards to the question you asked, they'll have to deal with me.
there's Mama D.
and I'm all the way in Canada, but trust me, my butterflies can reach everywhere.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And speaking of books, I got my little ice box
You
up here,
go.
and my water. I'm losing my voice because I was doing some work today. It's just
Angela likes that
we have
one.
Angela laughing over there.
Okay.
So one of the, we want to have some effect on the world. Everybody does, right?
Yes.
You want to have an effect beyond yourself. So there are some really interesting little devices called REGs,
Yes.
random event generators.
Yeah.
They're about this big. They're not very expensive, and they're encased in lead, so nothing can get inside there. No light, no radio waves,
No,
nothing can get in.
no EMF.
And there's a wire that comes out of it, and that wire goes to a computer. And what this thing is doing is it's generating randomly zeros or ones. And over time, it generates the same number of zeros and ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a real random device generator. But when there's something happening in the world where a lot of people are feeling the same emotion, these little devices, these REGs, all over the world they all start generating more ones than zeros, or more zeros than ones. They go non-random. at the very moment when many people are having some emotional experience of the similar kind. Like when Princess Di died, these REGs all over the world started going non-random.
Yeah.
So you knew that was all the people with their sadness and or anger.
Emotions, the heart.
The hearts are creating these fields of energy. And especially when there's many of these hearts coordinating together, these little devices all over the world change. Well, what we have found is that one person can make that change.
Yeah.
One person with their heart, if they know how to use their heart and their breath, they can affect these random event generators, which means that some signal is coming out of people's hearts. It affects everybody else.
Yeah.
It affects what we call the one heart. There's the heart of humanity. So our hearts have the heart of humanity inside them, and our hearts are inside of the heart of humanity.
Yeah, so I was just thinking of that, like the heartbeat of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can affect the whole world with what you feel if you feel deeply, intensely, and strongly.
I love this. I absolutely love it.
Very hopeful idea, isn't it? It's very hopeful.
It is. And if we could focus, if you could have, like, I used to belong to a group, I probably still do. It's a meditation they would do once a week. Everybody would meditate on something specific or in a specific place. And I'm going to bring this up because this is what's breaking my heart, is when for some reason somebody loses the only last brain cell that they had that works. And the other night, yesterday, there was a school shooting, and these were children, first day of school, and that's something that I think should be focused on, that it doesn't happen, but when it does, is that you have all these people getting together, sending that heart energy to the children that are affected by this, because the stuff that they saw is horrific.
It's
like a little 9-year-old boy said he got down on, because it was also connected with a church. It was a Catholic school. And he laid down underneath the pew, and an older boy put his body over on top of this. These are just elementary school students, and it's like 8 and 9 years old. So, like, if they can do that, why the heck can't we as adults focus an energy on something? Sorry, that sort of upset me yesterday, and it's still bothering me. So I do apologize.
Sorry,
I'm on the rant.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I know you get so emotional over those things, but this is the point of, I think, how necessary this is. If we teach our children this, you start. It starts with us. We get the book. We start learning. We go to your classes. We get your app. We do your things, and then we teach our children, and then it becomes a daily thing. Like a normal thing. Like, you get up in the morning, you do this. You get up in the morning, you meditate. You send, your energy, you change your energy for the day. Say you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, and then you just change your energy for the day. Well, you can change your energy and everybody else's energy in your house.
That's it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And I think, I think what one needs to know is, because one could say there's so many catastrophes happening these days. Like every day you can read or sometimes it happens in your own town. It's like with the weather, but the violence of people is increasing, and you're like, what kind of strange times do we live in? And so our answer to it is, I think you guys and a lot of people believe that we are really like in a new age. Do you know what I mean? And the new ages, they last about 25,000 years. 5,000 years, one age. So, and we have finished one of those ages. Some people say in the 60s, some people say in 2012. And what we are going through as a humanity, or in this planet, or in the whole cosmos with all the different universes, is there is a decay happening, a destruction of the old. And the question is, how does this new arise? And what is that new? And we think, in very simple ways, that the heart really needs to be re-energized, because the heart can have effect on the whole.
Oh
Yep.
God, yes.
When you have these catastrophes happening, you can see how the people get together, how they start caring
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things that they didn't care before about. Just a
Right,
little
right.
example, you say that the bigger boy lays on top of the little boy. That's a caring heart, right?
Yeah.
Heart.
Yep.
So I think this is what we are learning, to really live and work and be from the heart and be carried and held by the one heart.
See, now I think this is the answer because we've been saying this for years now. Like a lot of times, all right, in the paranormal, we did a thing, it was years ago that when it started, the paranormal day, right? All the groups in the world at the same exact time were asking the same exact questions on Beyond the Veil, recording their answers, blah, blah, all at the same time to see if all that energy is affecting the veil, and is it going to do something good? Is it going to, measurably different? So that's that. Psychic people have sent out all kinds of stuff healing across the land, which yes, that it was never measured, but it was definitely proven because you could see an upsweep and things. And then when it stops, it stops. Like what you did with your crime. But I think between the paranormal and between the psychic, yeah, you're sending it through the third eye, you're sending it through the veil. However, if you're taking the strongest instrument that we got and you're putting all these people using that, then we got something. Then
Yeah.
we have an answer. Then we can start doing some healing majorly for the world because these catastrophes have to stop. They
Yep.
do.
They will stop. They will stop. It's an evolvement of the human being. I think that I see currently a lot of anger and disappointment coming out of people.
Yeah.
That things are not the way how they could be. Do you see? But when we experience the powers within ourselves, that we actually could be who we could be, our ideal, when that starts becoming present, that's when the world starts.
And it's the one, and it's one person can do that. So
One-
yeah, it's not, well, you guys have to do it. No, it's all of us. We all have to do this, and we all can do this.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And you mentioned the most sensitive, the most powerful instrument. Well, the most powerful generator, of course, is the heart.
Yes.
Right.
The heart generates 99% of the energy field, what we call the energy body. 1% of it comes from the brain. So the heart is by far the most, it's basically the whole sense of self. Like if we could just see each other as just energy beings, you'd be all heart. There'd be nothing else you could see. Just see heart.
Yeah.
So if you can just use the energy of the heart, see,
Right.
by the way you breathe, you have to breathe from your heart. Imagine the breath is coming out of your heart. That breath carries the energy of your heart, and you can send it wherever you want, wherever you're focused. So the mind is important because it creates the focus, but the energy is coming from the heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to finish this book because I did, I did see a couple of the exercises parts, and you've got nice little charts and things going on in here, and
And get nice thoughts in that too.
where to take it in and where to exhale it out, and how far to go, and
Right.
what to breathe through the nose, the mouth, and whatnot, for different reasons. So it's all very impactful. But I want to read this because I think this is really nice. It says, Gina Momedy, I have no idea where you find all these beautiful people that you get on your shows, but let me tell you, it's certainly a blessing that I'm able to watch all of you weekly. I just absolutely love you all, and thank you for this. I mean, doesn't that doesn't it?
See,
Right?
that was a heart. That was a heart. People think one way. It doesn't have to just be a focus intensely on energy coming from your heart. That statement came from her heart.
That's
So
right.
you're sending out energy. You just knocked Gina and I off of our seats, but
I know.
good way.
I know. I love that because that's what we always say. Even if we,
Exactly.
we want to help as many people as we possibly can, but if we help just one person, or if we can just reach that heart of that one person, then we say our job is done.
Yep.
But this is what I love about the internet and being able to do shows like this is where she's in Canada, I'm in Pennsylvania, you're in Tucson, you're in Arizona, and here we are, and we're all together, and I feel like I've known you forever.
That's right. That's how small the world has become. And this is what gives us hope, right?
Yes,
The
yes.
deep, deep understanding that is here. And you get the feeling in the end that there's just one heart, there's just one being.
Yeah.
That's
And
exactly what connects us all.
yeah.
And
You
those are-
said something earlier about that one of the steps that we go through as adults is the dark night of the soul.
yes.
Now, then you were saying a little later about all the stuff that's going on, all the negative energy that's going on with the world. Do you think the world at this point in time is having one giant, big, dark night of the soul?
The world.
Not yet.
Okay, because this stuff seems to be
It's a very
increasing
advanced
as it goes along. And I'm not just talking about the shooting of,
Yeah.
of the innocents, but and JoJo's in Orleans.
Yep.
Um,
New Orleans.
The dark night of the soul is a point where you have to re-examine everything. So it's not just like a depression or something where
Mhm.
things aren't going well and I feel sad. It's a point where I don't know who I am anymore.
yeah, been,
Like we were working with a very successful man in Boston. He was the chairman of the ballet. He had started his own company, which became enormous, and became very wealthy.
Mhm.
He married his sweetheart. His whole world. He had his boat. All people in Boston love to have their boat.
Okay.
And so he's like super successful. And he came to us and he said, "Is this it? Is this all there is?
Mm.
What's next? I don't think this is the end of what I have to contribute." And that's the dark night of the soul as well. See, you don't have to fall apart. You just have to question, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this?
Right. Yeah.
Who am I?
I got to change the subject because I'm a Massachusetts girl. I don't know if you've noticed that yet. I try to have R's in my language, but sometimes it's really tough. But in Boston, did you have a Boston whaler? You got to have a Boston whaler if you're going to be in Boston and in the harbor.
There you go.
Very good, very good. Nice accent there.
Yeah,
I had to say it. I apologize.
that's a good one. But see, just to the question, what step is the world in? Darlene, we actually think it's on step 4. It's in the opening of the heart. It's in the
Okay.
heart development. And
Okay,
nothing
I can see
further. And that's a big step for people.
Huge step.
For people actually feeling, not be afraid of feelings.
Sorry. We are a pet inclusive show, and we have a nosy little girl here. Mom's not paying any attention.
So sweet.
Yeah, look at everybody. Say hi. There you go.
Baby,
Oh,
I miss my Bobby.
I can send my liquor over to you.
You know that step when that huge step when you're going from the mind to the heart.
Mhm.
That's the big step, right? You get this. It isn't very far, but it's a big step. And so that's what Susanna says at step 4 is when you've stepped into your heart.
And
Right.
that is when people have a lot of darkness or upbent energies in their heart,
Mhm.
then they take the guns and shoot.
Yeah.
That's the undeveloped heart.
Yeah.
That's the heart that doesn't
Okay. That hasn't found itself or opened itself yet.
That's why people are like when they have all that stuff and they're like, well, I'm included, all right, because the grieving thing is a big thing for me because I lost a lot, people. I've lost a lot, in a very short amount of time, including my husband, my parents, my dogs, everything. You know what I mean? It's like all kinds of stuff. And the grieving
No.
back because life takes precedence. You have to live, you have to survive, you have to
You have to get up every morning, go to work, feed yourself, feed the people.
fight up the people trying to attack you, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So and then life goes on, and then the grieving isn't as hard, and then it's still there, but it's not as prevalent. So it just, but it's something like I know I have to deal with it at some point. Okay. I know this.
Yeah.
I'm moving on with my life. I just got engaged again. You know what I mean? So I am moving on with my life. I'm doing the right things. But I know I do need to, one of these days get that out of me. And I think a lot of people that hold those things, especially like childhood traumas, and
Yes.
or traumas that were inflicted upon you through family members, through whether it's sexual,
Mental, emotional.
mental, physical, whatever it is, like those things can really, that negative energy is really, thank you, really tough to
Yeah.
get out there, to move on. You want to put out good energy from your heart. That means it's got to start from a clean place.
Yeah.
So we say you have to feel it to heal it.
Yes. There you go. I like that.
Well, people try not to feel it. They take painkillers, they take antidepressants,
Right.
they try to go to some place where they won't feel it, and it's not a
Oh, yeah,
solution.
because I'll go to the medical doctor that say, and all they do is say, "Oh, take a pill. You feel sad? Take a pill. You feel happy? Take a pill." You feel, you know what I mean? It's
So
like,
it doesn't really,
My pills I'd be taking.
feel it, right?
It doesn't solve anything.
So
No.
we
No.
want to have people find that courage in themselves and that energy and that love that allows them to feel what they need to feel so they can
Yeah.
heal. Yeah. So our method is a method that helps with trauma because we allow you to go into the heart with a searchlight, so it's not dark in there. So
Yeah. Okay.
you have energy to go with to resolve the problems.
See, Gina and Mama D, the thing what we learned to is, I come from a family who we are really like refugees. From my family, we were all living in Hungary when I was born. And we were thrown out, my grandparents were thrown out of the country because they were Germans. That's a rare thing. Usually you learn the Jews are being thrown out. Well, we were thrown out of the country because we were Germans and Germany had lost the Second World War. And so being a refugee is not an easy thing to experience. And what was on top of it, we were a very religious family, very Catholic. My great aunt was the mother superior of a great order. My dad wanted to become a priest if he wouldn't have met my mother. And my sister went to a monastery.
wow.
And all that religion could not help us through all the pain that was sitting in our family's heart.
Yeah. No.
It got me as far as America, believe it or not. There is a other backstory to that. But I found, through all that, how do you say, it's like a network of problems that people sometimes have, a deep network of problems. And I find religion often is not enough anymore. For some people it is. I'm not criticizing that at all. But I had to come to meditation and really feel those deep feelings and be able to transform them, through breath and heart, literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what one can solve. And it got us so deep that we do this for 40 years and help a lot of other people through a very simple method, because breath and heart you can do anywhere.
Yeah. Yep. Right. And you're it. You're it. You can do it. Right. You got it. It's right here. Right. Yeah. You can do it. You need a little help. You get some books and you really
deal
but
with
you opened this door, so I'm going to ask. So now you came to America. How did you meet your husband?
this guy. Well, that was simple. Once I got through, when you move to a foreign country, of course I learned English in school, but the school English, when I arrived in America,
The same thing.
so you lost your language and your culture, and that first was for me the second time. I had experienced this through being refugees, so you could say I was used to it. But I moved into deep depression. I was committed to not leaving. I said, I have to do something in this country. I'm not leaving. And it was really hard to get through. So a friend of mine, whom I taught, he was an opera singer. He became a friend of mine. I taught him German, And he said, "You really have a problem, don't you?" And I was like, "Me? A problem? I don't have problems." But he said, "I think you should meet my spiritual teacher." And so he worked on me for months, while all in German, because he learned German, because he did Wagnerian operas, Richard Wagner. And so by the end, I went to this teacher and I saw him, and I saw right when I first met him, that's my teacher. And so then after a year, I got initiated. Our school works too with initiations.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the most incredible initiation. I saw my whole life, and I saw the whole future of my whole trajectory. And then I was invited to go to France, to the Alps, and that's where our teacher had a meditation retreat with always tents. We were up in 3,000 feet.
Oh my God.
Meters.
3,000 meters, which is about 10 or 15. I don't know. Very high up.
Very high, yeah.
And
you
so, and there I was actually working there. I did all the recordings, and there was this young man. And so we fell in love from the first day on. And our teacher asked us then to create a school. Yeah, he asked a few years later, he asked us to create a school, and then we had to teach meditation. And I said, Puran, I'm not teaching like our teacher teaches. I cannot teach that. And then he said, there is a very simple method how to meditate, and that's breath and heart. And since then, we do this with a lot of levels to it.
Nice. That's adorable.
And that, it does a lot depends on like meditation. Some days I can meditate so easily, and other times every fiber of my being is fighting me on it, and it's just like, stop. This is why I'm trying to do this, is to calm everything down, and just, I mean, even though we're practicing in it,
Mm-hmm.
It's still, it can still throw you, but practice makes perfect. So
But what I find about your method is, like, most people, when they teach you to meditate, you're taught to clear your mind, just focus on whatever. You're not making us clear anything. You're having us focus. And if people focus on their breathing, as like earlier in the chat, it was David, I think, he said when he wears headphones, because for his work, he can hear his heartbeat, he can feel his heartbeat. How many people do that? They don't realize what it is. You just put it there, and some people like me have to shut up. And then you can hear it, and if you just go with it, you feel it, and then you go into your heart. Mm-hmm. You're giving us something to focus our minds on, our energies on, is where to go. So there's no monkey brain.
That's
right. You have
That's
some.
right. See,
That's
we're not trying to turn off your mind. We're trying to turn on your heart.
Exactly.
Yep.
So actually, a lot of
Yep, and then once you turn it on, it's like endless, the things that are possible, and you can actually admit,
power it is.
I mean, really.
See, Gina, and because you just got engaged, what we learned, because we have this purpose together. Our teacher gave us something to do together. When you have a purpose together, you last. We're together for 40 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah, same with me and my husband.
I mean, but whatever it is that you're doing, your glow and your whole demeanor and your...
You're a cute, adorable couple. It's like, it's adorable.
We have become...
You're just stunning. You're just beautiful, beautiful. You're a lucky man.
No doubt about that.
He's a smart man. He answered the right answer.
I do love that. Yeah, Bob and I, we do work together. We're both in the paranormal. We do a lot together. We do. We hold the biggest event on the East Coast currently. We co-organize that. We have Vortex Ghost Care, where we make all kinds of equipment, which is what I do over here, actually, right there. I do all my artistic things for these paranormal equipment pieces and whatnot.
Wow.
So we had a TV show together for a while. We,
Wow.
we do a lot of things that, we used to take people on ghost hunts around, but it's then COVID hit, and then we never started it back up again. Maybe one of these days, but we do a lot together.
Congratulations.
That purpose
Gina.
will hold you close. That'll make it work.
Yeah.
Keeps us busy, that's for sure.
Heather Lynn would like to know the names of the books again. Could you put that picture back up?
Yes, I will put the books back up here, right here. So, Living from the Heart. This is the one that the show is going to be dedicated about, but it's about all of them. Energize Your Heart, and these are different variations of the same book. So the two Living of the Hearts, they're the same book, right? There's three.
Yes, they're the same book.
Energize Your Heart are the same, and then Follow Your Heart.
Yes.
That one there is that one has that maze the labyrinth that they were talking about earlier in the show is in that book. And so tell us about your school now. How do people, I don't know if they have is there a different website for that?
Yeah, it's
the same website, iamheart.org/gift. If you have that one up, iamheart.org/gift. That'll take you to a page that says, here's the things which you can do right now. You can get the app for your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You can attend a studio where there's a live teacher at a certain time of the day. There's a live teacher that will lead you through a meditation, and you can ask questions.
That's amazing.
And then there's a course. There's a course you can take. There's a weekend course. There's a 8-week course. There's a 2-year course. We have different lengths of them, depending on how far you want to go. And then there are graduate courses beyond those courses.
And then we have healing courses.
And then we have a healing method, which is a separate set of courses. And we're very committed to healing by energy. It's as you said, Gina, you don't even touch the body.
Yeah.
And that's a big advantage, because if you touch the body, you get into trouble with licensing.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
You don't need to touch the body. It's all energy. So you can even do it at a distance, which I'm sure you know.
And you can definitely feel it. You can definitely, there's no doubt about it. And I'm going to put up there are all your YouTube channels and Instagrams and Facebook and everything.
And that link that's on the page, the www.iamheart.org/gift, the link is in the chat room. So both Facebook and YouTube all have the links. So if y'all want to go there, you can check it out. It's interesting.
Yeah. I would say you two are just completely, utterly, and totally amazing. I love you as a couple. I love what you're doing for everyone, and actually for the world too. And I really, really am impressed that you are, just how it all came to be. Like, everything is for a reason, right?
Yep.
In the world, that you two came together to be this power couple like this for 40 years, and then to develop and grow and morph to what you have going on right now. I mean, I commend you. I really, really do.
So as a kind of a parting statement, I might say, don't meditate for yourself. Meditate for the effect you can have on the world.
I like that.
Your friends first, your family and friends, people around you. They're very much affected by your meditation.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then see how far you can spread that. You can affect thousands of people. It's not just for you. Meditation is not just for you to be calm. It's for you to radiate peace.
Yeah. Very true.
We just finished up, we had the residency of a 16-month program. And in that program, we asked everybody in the beginning to send out a blessing. We should choose 3 people whom they send a blessing to every day. Then blessings have this wonderful gift to them that you start with, may you be healthy, or may you be joyful. Like this, may you, it's just lifting them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And people had incredible effects and healings happening.
Mm-hmm.
Health-wise, in their relationships, and it's just because they had a greater effect on the world, on somebody.
Yeah. All you have to do is touch one person, one heart, and it resonates.
That's right. And it came back to them. Do you know what I mean?
God, yes.
You send out a blessing and the blessing comes back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so simple to formulate that, you know?
Now, when you're sending a blessing, make sure it's the same words every time,
Yes.
over and over and over.
Yes.
It's like it drops the water on a rock, you know, eventually it's a hole. So you say the same words every time, and you think it as you breathe out.
Mm-hmm.
And you use your heart. Be in your heart first, and then send your breath with those same words every time to the same person.
Mm-hmm.
It just, you have to keep it going. You know, repetition is the way.
16 months they did. And then in the end, they send us
It always
papers
has
and
an effect.
reports on how they transformed their
That's right.
people.
People can't resist it. There's no resistance to it.
Yeah.
It goes right in.
You know, and you need to know in our school, it's not just the two of us. We have about 100 mentors in there. We have teachers, we have retreat guides, we work online. We have our books are translated in Portuguese, in German, in Mandarin, Chinese.
This couple here.
You guys are so sweet.
I love that picture on the back here. But I really seriously can't wait to now that I'm not as much in pain and I can actually focus, because I couldn't focus trying to read it. But now I'm glad that I'm waited, because now after meeting you and understanding
more interesting.
more, it's you know.
You'll see the book in a different light.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both for being such special people as you are. I mean, that you got the paranormal. I always wanted to study paranormal psychology, but now I do much more than paranormal psychology.
Well, you're actually doing it. It's not normal. You're doing it.
There you go. Different form of paranormal.
It's not Western medicine, so it's not normal. It's paranormal. It's so metaphysical, normal, all the things. It's all energy. You know, spirits are energy. Communicating with them is manipulating energy. Our equipment is manipulating energy. Reading all the different things, which you will love the scientific version of what we do. We have equipment for vibrations, for manifestation, static, EMFs, proximities, like whatever a spirit can do, we have a piece of equipment for it, you know. So this is how we monitor scientifically, you know. And then you have the body, which is the ultimate of, you know, piece of equipment.
You can feel so much with your body, right? It's the finest.
Right. So all interesting, all amazing, all needed in the world to make it whole. Right. And I think you guys are just so amazing. I thank you so much. I feel honored to have had you on the show, and I would love to have you back someday. I don't know if you're coming out with another book, if you're going to be another school, a tour, or, you know, I don't know what you guys are doing from here.
If you guys would like us to help you promote things, if you send Gina an email, you can send. Nobody has my email. Then send Gina an email and she'll shoot it over to me and we'll share it out. We touch the hearts of many. So it's like,
you guys are very laid back and very knowledgeable and do this every week. Thank you so much for doing this.
What a dedication.
Thank you
very much. All right, hang with us just for a minute here. I'm going to say goodnight to all of you. I'm going to have to definitely get my
foot's going up
on some ice. And it's definitely time. So thank you again, everybody. Please share the show. Okay. It's well worth getting this information out there to help a lot of people. So for now, buonanotte, everybody. Ciao, ciao.
Gute Nacht, auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Fox Time with Gina B and Mama D. We are here every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you a variety of guests or our own intuitive oracle card reading shows. We are streaming live on Facebook on my personal page and our YouTube channel, The Fox Time with Gina B and Mama D, on Mama D's YouTube channel, Angel Meadows, as well as our audio-only venues. We hope you enjoyed our show and our guest, or your reading, and we would love it if you would go to our YouTube channel, The Fox Den with Gina B and Mama D, subscribe, share, and definitely hit that notification button to never miss a show. We'll see you all next week, and subscribers, watch for our pop-up shows as well.